Joining us now is George B., President and CEO of U.S. Gold. Nice to see you, George.
Very nice to see you.
So you've got three projects, but we're going to focus on CK for the most part in Wyoming. You say it's shovel-ready, and you're dealing basically expressly with the state as opposed to any federal regulation, which your chairman has alluded to sometimes can be hell. So what are the advantages of that?
Well, that's absolutely true. I mean, some of my ex-colleagues for over the years are in permitting purgatory from dealing with the federal governments, but we are very fortunate to be working on a state section in Wyoming. We're surrounded by private land, and as a consequence of that, we've just put our permit application into the authorities in the state of Wyoming. So there's really no nexus to the federal government. We do not impact the waters of the United States. So all of our permitting is under the jurisdiction of Wyoming, and Wyoming is a resource state. There's about 600,000 people there, and coal, oil and gas, trona, a little bit of uranium, and I think they're looking forward to the diversification of the resource take to copper and gold.
Now, your pre-feasibility study estimates 1.44 million ounces of gold, all-in sustaining costs of $800 US, internal rate of return of 40%. So what are some of that sounds robust, number one. What are some of the other factors we can look at CK?
Well, look, you know, what we did, because we're close to a state park, and folks have said, well, it's relatively low grade. Well, first off, there's some robust numbers, so the grade is really good. We've got an all-in sustaining cost on a gold equivalent basis of $800 per ounce, so the economics of the project are very robust. And then, you know, as you start thinking about the project, we've got upside. But what we wanted to do was just demonstrate the ability to get a permit around what we have, and put a value proposition around that, and then in the fullness of time we can expand the resource to depth. But interestingly enough, because of our location, which is about 20 miles away from Cheyenne, and it's the northern end of the Colorado Front Range, we're in a position at the moment to make a good economic proposition around the recovery of gold and silver. But the rock that we set aside is also a fantastic aggregate opportunity. So probably 30 million tons of rock is available for aggregate, and our neighbors about 3 miles away are selling that at $18 per ton. So there's a lot of upside beyond the additional resource.
Right, Martin Marietta just down the road.
Martin Marietta just down the road, big outfit, and you know, they I'm sure there's room in the market for another opportunity.
Right. So you're planning construction in 2024 at CK, production in 2025. Initial capex is about $220 million. What are some of the financing options for you?
Well, look, we've been working very closely with the equipment suppliers. You know, we essentially have to build a concentrator. So we're not we're producing a concentrate. So a couple of the companies with access to Scandinavian sovereign wealth money to promote their business. So through OEM equipment manufacturers, and we're also hoping that the state of Wyoming will contribute as well, because we're on state land. The state will get a royalty from the project, and we're creating jobs and opportunities. So between those options, we think that we've probably got half to two-thirds of our capital spoken for in long-term low-interest debt.
And just briefly, your other projects in Nevada, you've got Maggie Creek and Keystone, and that's near Barracks Cortez Hills, and then Chalice in Idaho, which you say could be district scale. So maybe just a quick snapshot of those projects.
Well, today we just put out news that we've monetized our opportunity in Maggie Creek. We're just across the road from Gold Quarry. We drilled that property. We found the all-important on the Carlin Trend, the Popovich Formation. So we've just done a deal with Barrick and sold that interest to them. We have the potential of retaining a royalty on that property, but our real opportunity is 20 square miles on the Cortez Trend, the Keystone property. It's a massive property, great anomalies. We had scant drilling on it, so that's great. And then again in Idaho, great jurisdiction and close to additional mining. So we're looking to those. We pivoted the company to development, but we haven't lost sight of our exploration opportunities.
And just lastly, George, with the valuation of the stock, I know your chairman, Luke Norman, says that it's trading about 0.1 to net asset value. Peers are around 0.4. What's the market not getting?
Well, the fact of the matter is that we're a Nasdaq-listed company, and that is born of the fact that we started out in the United States, in a different guise. So we have coverage down in the United States. So we trade over $600,000 a day, but we've gotten caught in this downturn. And as a consequence of that, and not having some of our Canadian friends covering us and really alerting the folks, we don't see that recognition at the moment. But as soon as we get the permit, and we're working through that, we're very confident that that's going to occur, then those valuations should increase. So we're just working through the steps which will improve that valuation.
And this conversation will help to get the word out. So thanks, George.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
George B., President and CEO of U.S. Gold.